Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, and welcome to our board meeting. And we'll get right down our agenda. Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Lou, I would like to see an addition made in section 4 there, right below 13, for our executive session, discuss superintendent contract addendum.
All right, so there, you made a motion, correct?
Yes.
All right, there is a motion on the table to add an executive session before item 14 on our agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay. All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor of going to an executive session after item 13 before item 14, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Okay, so the agenda is so moved. Now, the approval of the agenda with the additional bills. Okay,
A motion to approve the agenda with the additional bills and the additional item.
I'll second.
thank you. All right. Any discussion? Okay. The motion is to approve the agenda with additional bills and the change to the executives, adding the executive session. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? All right. We are going on to why choose Platte 1.
Right, I think we have some new pictures maybe from History Day winners, I think. Is that right? That's kind of an addition. And then thinking about next year in terms of the slogan, I kind of like highlighting teaching and learning and innovation. So a little brother I thought about would be like teaching today, learning tomorrow, or leading tomorrow. So it would be highlighting teaching, learning, and leadership. That would be a good focus for next year, and that would be good things to share throughout our. And we kind of rotated between elementary and secondary. I think most people appreciated that and like that. So we'll talk to our administrative team. I might come up with a different focus, but I was thinking that would be a good kind of slogan. Why choose Platte 1 was kind of brought up because we had a student teacher last year that called and said, hey, I choose Platte 1. She was a special ed student teacher, and we celebrated that. So we like that slogan for last year, but I think every year we want to change out just a little bit. So, okay.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for that. And no correspondence?
No.
Okay, no correspondence. And we will go on to the visitor comment. We do have a visitor that would like to speak. Just as a reminder to all of the public that we, per current policy BBDH, the board does allow public comment. We would like to remind everyone of the rules. While our meeting is held in public, it is not a public rule, so the rules are very specific to what we can and can't do or allow. During visitor comments, we are not allowed to engage with the public. This is an opportunity for the public to give us a very brief opinion on a topic that may be discussed during the meeting. The board does have the right to limit speaking time to 3 minutes per person, but no longer than 30 minutes for all speakers. And just a reminder that we don't allow any personal, you can't point out people personally. But Mrs. Ruby?
Do I need to go up or can I repeat that?
You're fine, okay, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Carly Ruby and I have 2 children that are students within the district. Over the past several months, I have made repeated efforts to raise concerns at lower levels and able to reach the higher levels to get this seen. My daughter's situations, multiple, go back as far as 2019, but for the sake of this conversation, we'll stick to the ones that took place this school year, or rather this past school year. These include how certain safety-related incidents were handled or didn't have handling at all, how communication was restricted during moments when she needed parental support most, and how some responses fell beyond short of what district and state policy require. I recognize that states have recently been taken to adjust internal roles and responsibilities, and I appreciate the willingness and acknowledge that these situations could have been handled differently. With that said, I do want to be clear. Internal adjustments do not resolve the impact that these experiences have had on my child or her experiences at school, nor do they prevent similar issues from happening again in the future, not only with her, but with other students in the district. I have also been made aware that these kinds of things may not be isolated to our family alone, that other students without strong advocates like myself may face similar challenges. If that's the case, it signals a larger concern that deserves more than quiet fixes and should be a discussion that the board sees. Additionally, I believe this moment presents an opportunity for broader reflection on training needs across the district, especially as we move forward with policies like the concealed carry law. Particularly, conflict de-escalation and clarity around safety-related responsibilities and procedures, and staff involvement in those. Students deserve to be supported by the professionals that they are in the care of, who are fully equipped to respond to moments of crisis with both care and consistency, and parents deserve to have that expectation met. As a parent, I want my children to feel safe and supported, but as a member of this community, I also want to know that the systems in place are doing what they are meant to do for all students. This includes accountability at all levels, when policies are not followed, and transparency when things go wrong. I've made every effort to approach this in good faith throughout the last 7 months, and although the appropriate channels have now finally began making adjustments, I cannot say that that was our experience early on. While I still hope that this can be resolved constructively, I remain committed to seeing it through and ensuring meaningful steps are taken moving forward to ensure that nothing like this happens again. Thank you.
Thank you. And I understand that you have already met with a board member and Mr. Weigel, so things are moving, and thank you for your concern.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on to the consent agenda. And we'll-
Madam Chair, I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you.
I will second that.
Any comments or discussion on the consent agenda, including the minutes, claims, all of that? Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor to approve the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Alright, information items, Mr. Weigel.
Yeah, today I want to have Mr. Jim Dole come up and kind of discuss kind of the progress within our summer projects. So we have questions about bleachers and keys and those types of things. That'd be good to get kind of a progress. You can sit on the chair.
You can sit on the low sitting chair. I told you.
Awesome. School board, superintendent, thanks for letting me share. Just to give you guys kind of some updates on some of the bigger projects, and we've got lots of stuff going, but these are the bigger things. Big one's the bleachers. I keep getting questions on that one. Right now, the scheduled date delivery is September 15th. So it's most likely not gonna happen during the school year. Now, they're pushing really hard to possibly do it in August, but the safe side, they're saying September 15th. So don't get our hopes up too high of it happening actually before. So we talked with Josh, we've been trying to figure out schedule, like, is there a 2-week window to demo, throw in the new ones? Or do we just wait till Christmas break to get them all installed? So, It's still kind of up in the air, it's not happening today or tomorrow by no means. And realistically, it's slow as most things are moving, I'm not really expecting it to show up before that September 15th, so.
I assume we have storage facilities to put those in if they're delivered.
Well, and that's one of the things, they're not actually gonna have them shipped here until we actually have a closer
Okay.
date. So as soon as they kind of get the thumbs up of they're completed, they're ready to go, then from that point, we'll try to figure out the exact. So in the next week or two, we're looking at some schedules and seeing if by chance we could do them sometime early school year, but that's harder than sports and trying to find a two week window. So realistically, good chance we'll just have to plan at Christmas break when there's not much going on, but just because of how that all worked out. So that's the update on that one. Sprinklers, if you guys have seen any stuff going on at the football field, we had a big plan on how we thought we could retro it, and the trouble was we couldn't find a map. We dug through every document and there's no maps to that whole thing. So once we actually tore into it, we realized how many years it's been redone and added to, and so we just couldn't quite retro it the way we thought we could. So we ended up having to get Altitude to step in to help us. Right now, we have a brand new system out there, everything is running great. We still have final adjustments and all that stuff, but we're completely gone with the whole old hydraulic system, which is awesome because that thing's been a pain in our butt ever since. So starting tomorrow, we're also tackling that field hard with aerating, overseeding, fertilizers and different things. So that's one of the big things going on the football field. Also on the football field, I think it's basically the end of this month, we'll start doing the remodel of the crow's nest up there. All the materials and everything have been bought, fixed, so that'll all be done before school, getting that completely up to date. One of the big ones also over at the high school is when we did all the air handlers last summer, part of that bid contract was the electric panels at Libby and the high school. And so due to just the bigger units and all the other stuff, even before we started, we really were kind of lacking on the code fire safety side. We were almost too overdone, but they stepped in this last week. We got that new panel all installed. Libby started today on that new panel, and so those two are moving forward, got everything situated on that. I'm pretty sure you guys all saw the pictures of the gym floor over there with all that. That's all finished up, waiting for it to fully cure. And then as soon as it cures, another 2 weeks, the shot clocks over there are all going in for that. Middle school gym floor is starting next week for refinishing that floor. Old junior high, that floor's getting refinished middle of August. The big one, district rekey, we ordered a whole lot of cylinders, so some of the parts got kind of put on back order. Everything else, they've got 90% of it, they just got a few things waiting, which are supposed to be there this week. But we've been going through, we got all the lists of all the teachers, all the keys, lined up with maps, so as soon as that gets started, from start to finish, they're saying 2 weeks to do all the hardware, and they start kind of sending some of the stuff to start doing the key, that stuff. So we're a little behind on that because they were supposed to start at the beginning of this month, actually installing, but we're still looking good on that one.
So that'll be done then before school starts?
Yes, that'll all,
Fantastic.
there might be like 2 weeks before school of a little bit of some longer hours, just trying to make sure everything's good to go, but I'm not concerned yet on that side. The new slide at West is to be here tomorrow morning to get unloaded, so we can get that in yet this summer. we got all the stuff to put in over at Libby where somebody thought they wanted to park on the playground, so we got that to fix, but we got the stuff for that, which is pretty easy. And then a lot of the summer's just been working with trying to move forward with state and different stuff on the high school and west and the sewer issues and all that stuff, so it's been a busy month and a half already.
This isn't really on your maintenance, but on South Street, on the middle school, there used to have a chain on that dirt road on South Street where you go up there. It's not there, and Saturday or Sunday morning, I saw a Razor or a 4x4, side by side, ripping up that road as fast as it could go.
Was it gray?
I can't tell you what color it was.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, I don't know if that's what they should be doing on that road, but
Was that Friday or Saturday? Yeah, sorry.
I think it was Saturday or Sunday morning, cause I'm always out snooping around early and so, just so you know, but I didn't know if that was supposed to be closed.
It's supposed to be, not always the best at getting it back up,
Okay,
so we'll get on that.
it's just that I don't need them up there tearing up the grass and all that stuff. Okay,
So Jimmy, the football field, going back to that, was those sprinkler head replacements that you got, or the whole system that you replaced, was that supposed to be done by our contractor that worked on it, or where did that? 'Cause didn't we have a contractor working on that last year?
Last year they stepped in and they did repairs, we were trying to fix the
Okay.
system. It got to the point like we literally could not buy even a part for the head, they're so
Gotcha.
old, they quit making them. And the way those hydraulic systems work, we started like this year, this spring, when we fired everything up, it was like we were, all the little lines that run to each one were so brittle they were breaking, so.
I got you, I just recalled seeing them working on that, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're doing this again, like
Yeah.
what did I miss?
Yeah,
But
no, last year they did more maintenance on it than, but we just got to a point where we had no real choice to.
Full replacement had to happen.
But last year, a lot of what they actually did, the biggest part of that project last year was around the track was growing, got so much dirt. The roots and everything was actually going under the new track surface, so a lot of last year's actual project was trying to get that dirt around the
Gotcha.
outside
Okay.
and some of those.
Didn't they put in edging? Did they put in a metal edging on the inside of the truck?
No, we haven't put in any metal edging, we've been watching it this year, so far we haven't had any issues, the edging for that much, commercial grade and everything else. One is not cheap, but two, just trying to find the right edging, where it's not a tripping hazard for everyone running in and out, and so we've looked at some different options for a better long term. But as long as we're keeping it edged and watching it, we're not running into roots climbing under that this year.
Couldn't you use like a ground clear or something, just right up, just around the perimeter there?
Sorry, what was
Like a ground clear,
Spray
Weed
or
killer.
granule or something.
it? Yeah, we probably could kill it, but then we had to. It's kind of a, I don't know, right now we're not having the issues we were having, so
Okay.
we're keeping an eye on it, making sure no roots are climbing under it, so. We're still trying to figure out some of that process and that's even for next year, how to get better at long-term maintaining that field. One of the big issues this year we actually ran into was there's a lot of fungus out on that field that we haven't really seen. So working with this landscaper, he helped set us up with a right fungicide that we can spread out there to kill that fungus that we're working with, and so, and then, so starting tomorrow, we're literally hammering out fungicide, the seed and the fertilizer.
And Jim, wasn't the hydraulics still with pressure, so because the leaks there was enough pressure, so when they'd start, they'd stay on for hours and hours? There was no control, like a zones?
Yeah, we had
So the new
no-
stuff will have zones, and we have control over like the
Yeah,
normal?
right now we have full control, it's awesome, full coverage everywhere, and yeah, no, we'd have random heads just decide they wanted to pop up and do whatever they wanted to do.
Run for
So
hours.
It was a never ending battle, so.
Could be why you have fungicide or fun.
Yeah,
fungus problems.
different areas
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
too much moisture, not enough moisture, like it was, so.
So what was from their repairs that they attempted last year and then you had to recruit, call in altitude, I believe you said, and now we've got a fungus problem. What's the price increase from what it was last year till now?
On
Like having to call up somebody else in and make the system new.
when it's all said and done, all the new parts and everything, we talked about it earlier, it was to be around that 11,000 with all these new parts and everything else, we're to be, I think it came in at 19,500 or something like that for all the system. And part of the field, it's all new system, new sprinklers, everything, they were able to keep the budget down even though part of the old field is because it's solid PVC and the PVC is still solid. So they did retro a little bit on the one end, so we didn't have to trench the entire field. So, but all the controls and all the heads, all that stuff is fully done. So we were able to keep budget down by doing a little retro, but so I don't know if that answered your question.
It was a lot less than I was anticipating.
Any other questions or comments for Mr. Toll? Alright, thank you. And then, item 2 under information items is, the Platte County Economic Development Minutes, those you can peruse at your leisure.
No.
We don't have any policy evaluations today. And then under board reports, does anybody have a committee report? I don't think we've had many meetings.
Never mind, I answered my own question, we're good now.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Alright, so then on the board chair report, I have a couple of items. One, I do need to let the board members know, thank you, Clay for pointing it out, and I need to let everybody else know that at last month's meeting, I did say that an absent was a no vote. That is not what I meant, that's not right. If you're absent, it is listed in the official records as an absentee vote or an absent for vote. But what I meant was that it acts like a no vote because you're not here to vote yes. So I apologize for that, but we got that straightened out. And then for the board, 3 items. One, we had voted a while ago, that we would have retreats, quarterly retreats, and we're past time for that, so we need to come up with one in the end of July or no later than by August. So does anybody have specific plans, or do you want us to, or days that you can or can't? We don't have to narrow down the day exactly right now, but I wanna get it into at least a range so that we can see what's available.
I'm available from next Wednesday on, so.
That's where I'm at too.
I've got county fair the last week in July and I got state fair the second week in August, which is right before school starts.
Me too.
So if you can go around those two.
So maybe the 23rd, 24th, 25th, maybe the 24th, Thursday, the 24th of this month.
I'll make it work.
That's just next Thursday, are we correct? And that's the day before county
Correct.
fair starts, and I won't have time to do that either, so. Let's look at the end of July, of August.
Like after school starts, you mean?
Yeah.
School starts on the 20th.
So the week of the 25th, does anybody have specific days that may or may not work?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday do not work for me.
At what time are you talking?
Probably we could do a lunch too, we could do a lunch or we could do an evening.
You guys just pick a date. I can't do it during the day. It's gonna have to be but don't, if you worry about me, you'll never find a schedule that works.
Evening is better for me.
Okay, evening. So we're gonna tentatively put in, what is the, well, I'll get some, maybe sometime the end of the week, the 27th, 28th, 29th, somewhere in there. But I'll get with everybody and we'll,
Okay,
last week of August.
sounds good. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna switch my things around. Speaking of school starting on the 20th, on the 18th is the teacher's first day back.
District staff development.
District staff development. And last year the board provided breakfast for them, so we would like to do that again. So if anybody would like to help with that, let me know. If anybody wants to head that up,
What day is that?
it's on a Monday.
Okay.
Last year we just did breakfast burritos and fruit and some rolls.
What time are we looking at there?
The PD starts at 8, so.
So maybe 7?
Yeah, we were ready at about 7, I think, Sean, is
Mm-hmm.
it? 7:30.
I'd be willing to help.
I can help.
I'll be there.
Just in the commons area.
Just right in that little kitchen area.
I'll be sporting base and blue, but I can be there at 7:15.
Okay, all right, so we will run with that, and anybody want to be in charge of what we're making?
I can be.
Do you wanna help her, Diane?
Sure. Even if it's just picking up whatever.
I can help.
Okay, so Diane and Sean are in charge and they will tell us what to do. Perfect, thank you guys. All right, the next thing is a committee. I'd like to make a committee, we love committees, don't we?
Don't we?
We've talked about it several times about getting a committee together to help work with Marie on the lunch options. And we haven't talked so much recently, it was more in the last year we talked a lot about it, but it still keeps coming up. So we would like to get a committee together to work with Marie and see what is out there, nothing against Mrs. Allison nor our lunch program, but what can we do, what's available to help her make the lunch program even better, and what options are out there. So I would at this point entertain volunteers for that committee if anybody chose to do so.
I'll volunteer.
I can help with that.
And I would be happy to do that as well. Food is right up my alley. Okay, so Diane, Lou, and Amanda will be the lunch committee that will work with Mrs. Allison. All right. I'm done with that. Now we're on to old business. Seeing none, we'll go on to new business.
Madam Chair, I'll move to approve donation to Libby Elementary from the Libby Elementary PDO for the playground equipment in the amount of $20,000.
Thank you.
Second.
Any comments or discussion? It's a very nice donation. We're very thankful for that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? All right, item 2.
Madam Chair, I will move to approve salary schedules for 25-26.
Second that.
Thank you. Any discussions, questions, comments? Okay. All right, all those to approve the salary schedules for 2025-26, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Alright, item 3.
I would move to approve meal price increases for the 25-26 school year.
Alright, thank you,
I'll second that.
thank you. Any questions, comments, or discussion? We do have Mrs. Allison here with us, and she would stand for any questions, I'm sure, if we had any. It's been a very long time since we've had price increases, I think, hasn't it?
Couple years anyway, yeah.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor to approve the mill price increase for the 2025-26 school year, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Alright, item 4.
Make a motion to approve the FY 25 budget amendments.
Thank you.
I'll second
Thank you. Okay, and any questions or discussion? This is amending the current, that we just got done with, just, Mrs. Wilson, do you have anything to say to this?
By statute, you cannot be over in any function level, and so.
Can we just move stuff?
Yep.
Okay, alright, thank you. Any questions, comments? Alright, all those in favor of approving the fiscal year 25 budget amendments, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, no? Alright, item 5.
Make a motion to approve recess of regular board meeting convened in a budget hearing.
it. I will second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor to approve the recess of regular board meeting to convene the budget hearing, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, no? Alright. And then we have, okay, yeah.
Presentation,
Yes. It's all you, Mrs. Wilson.
All right. Board of Trustees, in front of you, you should all have the budget for the year 25-26. On page 2 is a list of all the trustees and their contact information. Page 3 goes into the budget message. Platte County School District number 1 is pleased to recommend the proposed budget for fiscal year 26. Wyoming school districts are required by Wyoming State Statute 164120 to maintain their accounting records in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles through a uniform chart of accounts prescribed by the Wyoming Department of Education. This particular budget was developed by incorporating past and current financial information with recommendations from the superintendent, school administrator, staff, stakeholders, and the school board. The priority of the budget is to ensure that all students and staff have the resources available to them to create a safe and positive learning environment. However, these resources will remain within the fiscal means of the district budget, and creative solutions have been made along the way to try and make sure that we are able to do that. The budget is made up of 5 different categories: the general fund, capital construction fund, enterprise fund, custodial fund, and special revenue fund. The general fund accounts for the main financial resources for the district. The district receives most of its operating revenue from the Education Resource Block Grant funding model. I currently am have my doubts a little bit about the State Department's current claims for our entitlement as a district. We received a newly released 100 funding model on July 8th, and the State Department, I have emailed the State Department with some questions on our allocation amount for our entitlement, and was told that the State Department will be reaching out to districts individually to answer those questions. At this time, I have not been contacted, so I'm not sure where we're at exactly with the questions that I have in regards to some of the financial allocations that the district has been awarded. But I'm hoping Platte 1 is in that group of contacts that will be made here shortly. Districts are either a recapture or, moving on to page 4. Districts are either a recapture or an entitlement district. Platte 1 is an entitlement district, which means our foundation guarantee exceeds our local resources. So we're paid monthly by the state of Wyoming to make up for the difference. The funding model is based on average daily membership. You can see on page 5, is Platte 1's ADM enrollment and funding ADM, through all the way back to 2010, 2011. Looking at this, again, Mr. Weigel has presented to our legislators that, we do not feel that Platte 1 is, we disagree with the Wyoming Department of Education on their funding method for calculating our ADM. Currently, our charter school is being calculated with Platte County School District, and we feel like that they should be counted separately as a separate LEA, as their ADM is increasing and our ADM is decreasing. So the state of Wyoming is funding us off of the prior year when we feel like Platte 1 should be treated as a 3-year average versus facing that cliff. We're currently kind of in limbo mode, waiting to see what happens with that with legislation. If you wanna add anything at that point, or we don't have anything new to report.
So I think originally we had concerns because we felt like there was gonna be a reduction in our overall funding. And then just recently, it's actually changed where there's an increase and we're questioning the increase. So we went from saying, wow, we're not being treated fairly here, to all of a sudden the numbers are coming out where they're ahead of what we think they should be. So in the budget, you're gonna see a little bit of inflation with the numbers. And we feel it's a mistake on their end, but Jamie's contacted them multiple times. I don't know what else we can do. The only thing I'd recommend is we kind of put safeguards in place, so if they come back and say, hey, this isn't correct, we haven't spent those dollars yet, so.
Moving on to page 6, it goes over our general fund revenues. You can kind of see that there is gonna be a decrease in our 25 mil non-mineral in our 6 mil county taxes, and that's due to the valuation of the county going down, but you're gonna see that foundation program guarantee is got a significant increase in it, and that's the part that I'm questioning. If they can explain to me where that increase is coming from, especially with the decrease in funding and utilities, our decreasing ADM, everything points to a decrease. So why is there this increase in such a large increase in our guarantee? If they can explain that to me, and that's where they're getting back to me, as if you can explain to me how and why and all the things, that would be appreciated. But at this time, I don't have that guidance. You will see there was an increase in our special education reimbursement, and also tax shortfall grant. The district anticipated to receive more money in local revenues than what we received, so next year we actually get reimbursed from the state from that. So that is an increase there as well. Moving on to page 7, page 7 and page 8 is the building budget per expenditure category by location in a comparison of FY25 and FY26. Remember, this comparison is compared to the original budget that you guys approved in July. It doesn't include the budget amendments that you just did, okay? So if you look at it, you can see that we're proposing a balanced budget this year. We also proposed a balanced budget last year of $18.8 million in expenditures. This year, we're anticipating 22.2 in expenditures. We're anticipating a decrease in the 1,000 direct instruction and 2,000 instructional support, and an increase in the 3,000 administrative and support services. That's gonna be a big increase just due to the utilities. That's where we're anticipating. Did I say utilities? Sorry.
There you go.
Okay. That's where we're anticipating the overall increase in the 3,000 admin, and kind of what Mr. Weigel was just explaining, also that safeguard of where the anticipation, we wanna make sure that we keep that the furthest away from students if and when they do make that correction, so that's in the 3,000 category. The budget includes steps and lanes for all staff, an increase to the salary schedule, addition of staff, additional extra duty contracts, and an increase as explained in utilities. We are increasing the district transfers from 1.3 million to 2.9. That's due to the SLIB approved charter school pass-through and an increase to the food service account. Okay, as stated, you can see the overall budget from year to year what the differences are. Moving on to page 9, a balanced budget is presented for fiscal year 26. The budget includes steps and lanes for all staff, absorption of staff, district transfer to the food service program, and the SLIB approved charter school pass-through. The proposed revenue budget is based on the best information I have at this time. That is subject to change. As you can see, or as we've kind of been talking about, you can understand our predicament, I guess you could say. Going from $11 million and everything decreasing to $14 million. That's where the biggest discrepancy I can see. You're still gonna have a healthy cash carryover, like I said, balanced budget of the $4.6 million will remain in our cash carryover. Moving on to page 10, we're gonna talk about major maintenance. This fund can only be used to maintain our buildings. It's based off of square footage and ADM. Currently, we have one project that was started in FY 25 but will be completed in FY 26, and that's the Wheatland High School gym floor. $38,500, the project is now complete. Payments will be taking place at the next board meeting. You'll probably see that check go out. There are quite a few district major maintenance projects. The significant ones that the district foresees addressing in FY 26 is the district rekey, the bleachers at the high school, the Libby split units, the district water filtration / softener project, and the Glendale West and middle school parking lots. The remaining expenses are gonna be used as the needs arise at the following buildings. You can see that at the end of FY 26, we're still gonna have a healthy amount in our major maintenance account. So if unforeseen project were to come up that we needed to fix, we still have enough we have $1.9 million in our major maintenance, even after the expenses that we're anticipating for the year. Moving on to page 12 and 13, this is where the federal fund is addressed, special revenue fund. It accounts for all supplemental categorical federal and state restricted grants. A summary of all the grants can be found right there on pages 12 and 13 and what they can be used for. It has been strongly encouraged by the Wyoming Department of Education to not obligate any funds beyond existing carryover for Title II and Title IV. We, as a district, did not spend our Title II and Title IV funds, and so we do have a remaining balance. So we are able to kind of, as Mr. Weigel explained, we're able to kind of take that year to hopefully address some of the funding issues that Mr. Weaver was discussing. Again, right now, the department is just kind of waiting on federal guidance as well.
And do those grants sunset or?
Yeah, all grants will sunset
Those
for the
pertain to-
district. The title, yes, Title II, so we have, like I said, we can spend it through September of 26. We have money that is available to us that we can, 26, sorry, my years start to get kind of confusing. And same thing with Title IV.
Okay,
So we have till September 30th of 26.
okay.
So then usually you start writing the grants now and they get approved, like I think in October, November, and we start using them, so they've zeroed out those accounts. So our consolidated grant, when we actually send that in for approval, we can't, nothing will be in those categories because there won't be any money. It's a zero in those two areas.
Also, just bringing it to your attention that the federal funds also include our Eastern Wyoming and our Hot Springs BOCES. Okay. On page 14, you'll see the overall budget for our federal fund. And again, and this is taking into account that we will not be receiving money for Title II and Title IV for FY 26. Okay, moving on to page 15, our capital construction. All capital construction funds provided by the School Facilities Commission will be classified into this fund. You'll see that the $500,000 that the Platte County School District number 1 put into the depreciation reserve, it's not gonna be reflected on the bank statement until 26. We did it so close to the end of the year just to maximize the amount that we wanted to transfer over, seeing those final bills come in that last week of July. So you'll see it on the bank statement in FY26, so that's why you don't see the deposit in 25, just so you guys are aware of that. Projects must be improved in order to be funded out of capital construction. Platte County School District number 1 currently has 2 projects that we're looking at doing in FY26. That includes the West Plumbing Project and the Wheatland High School Sewer Engineering portion only. For FY26, we're also looking at finishing out the Wheatland Middle School. We have that final payment to them after the damage that was done to those split units up on the roof. So we're waiting to until all those repairs are made before we release those final retainage funds to that company.
But
Moving,
now, just
Sorry.
go back. But is insurance paying for the damage that was done?
the company that did the
Their
middle school roof, yeah, so they are the ones that damaged the units while they were replacing the roof. So they are in charge of making those.
Thank you.
Alright, moving on to page 16 is gonna be our enterprise fund. Platte County School District number 1 is part of the National Schools Lunch Program. The majority of these funds come from the free and reduced lunch reimbursements. The district does supplement this fund every year. It is not self-sufficient. It is anticipating that the general fund will contribute $400,000 to offset the expenses for FY26. You'll see that in the 85,000 category there, there's the $400,000 transfer. You could compare that also to page 9, I believe. Yeah, page 9, and you'll see it under the 6,000 expense transfer for the general fund. Moving on to page 17 is the custodial fund, also known as the student activity fund. It is not for custodians. The district is responsible to account for depositing and distributing all money in a custodial capacity. We are anticipating the expenditures for FY26 to be about $2.8 million. This is where the SLIB approved charter school pass-through funds will be expensed. So the State Department gives us the money to deposit into our general fund. We take it out of our general fund and I put it into our custodial fund and then pay the charter through that. So that's why over the last, from FY24, 25, and 26, you'll see it in the millions of dollars being spent. Our students are not spending millions of dollars in fundraise money.
And that's all based on ADM.
Correct. And the state tells Platte County School District, this is how much we have paid for Prairie View Charter, this is how much you make the check out for every month. So they tell us, we write the checks.
Very good.
Okay, and then on page 18 is the budget appropriation and levy resolution. Are there any questions?
I don't have any.
Looks good.
Good work.
Thank you.
Balanced budget is always good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Alright, if there are no more questions, I would entertain a motion for item 6.
Madam Chair, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, Madam Chair, I move to approve recess of budget hearing, reconvene regular board meeting.
No, I'll second.
Okay, perfect. Alright, all those in favor to approve the recess of budget hearing and reconvene the regular board meeting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Okay, now on to item 7, approving the budget.
Madam Chair, I'll move to approve the FY 2026 resolution for budget adoption.
I would second that.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? All those in favor to approve the FY 2026 resolution for budget adoption, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Item 9, no, excuse me, item 8, got ahead of myself there.
I would make a motion to approve personnel hiring, resignation, and terminations.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second that.
Any questions or comments?
Have they always been accessible before meetings, or is that something that's just started happening in the last couple of meetings? Cause I hadn't noticed that before the last couple where the general public could go on and click on that link and see who's hired and fired, because I know of a few individuals that have been told not to post things as a new coach until approval had happened. And
So sometimes when we send it out like early, maybe it's not completed yet, so if we have something that comes in late, usually it's actually updated by this, like by Monday. But from my understanding, Heather does the permissions, we've always posted this so people can see it.
oh,
People
okay.
can see it, it's made visible to the public, but it's, the public can't see it until I send out the link to the agenda. So whenever the agenda link goes live, they have access.
And sometimes it is late, but the link is still there, so, right, sometimes it has been a little late after, it's not like ready Friday, we might have
Yes.
an interview that Friday, we don't know, they're checking references, but we wanna get them on the list for approval, so
Gotcha.
sometimes it might come a little later, but it's always been available, very transparent, so.
Okay, I just didn't know how that works, if
Yeah.
we can't use names in general in a meeting. I don't know where that falls as far as right, wrong, or indifferent. So that's just my thought. I don't know the answer to it, it was something that, and maybe that was a thing, Heather, I just caught in between, but I just started noticing it was accessible and I was like, is that right?
We have right to public records for
Yeah.
people's salary and all those kind of things, email.
Yeah.
There's no difference with this, when we hire people, we put their name on there, we do try to list what their benefits are and salary, those things.
Okay.
Transparency.
Try to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Little different in corporate world, but public entity, I suppose.
Maybe that's where my train of thought goes.
Right,
Even though I'm not necessarily not in the public,
yeah,
because I am, but
right. It's
Okay.
taxpayer dollars.
They're not official until we vote on them, but that's what
Okay.
the recommendation to us, I guess, is.
that's all I have.
I'm sorry, we should have had a motion before we talked about that, I apologize.
That's fine.
We did,
Did we have a
We
motion?
did,
Yeah, it's passed.
we have,
We have
Oh, we haven't voted?
Yeah.
we were discussing,
Okay,
Sean made the motion, Diane seconded.
wow, I slept through that, I apologize, thank you for that.
so now we can vote.
All right,
We can
any
vote.
further discussion or questions that, yes. All right, all those in favor to approve the personnel hiring, resignation, and terminations, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, no? All right. Item 9.
I'll make a motion to approve policy IJOC, school volunteers on second and final reading.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or discussion? This is just defining volunteers for, in the district to make it a little clearer. Seeing no discussion. All those in favor to approve policy IJOC, school volunteers on second and final reading, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, no. Item 10.
Madam Chair, I'll move to approve policy GCBA, professional staff salary schedules on the second and final reading.
I'll second that.
Questions, discussions, comments? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor of approving policy GCBA, professional staff salary schedules on second and final reading. Please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, no? Okay. Item 11.
Madam Chair, I'll move to approve policy IHBG, homeschooling on the first of two readings.
Okay,
I'll second it.
thank you. Questions, comments, discussion? So it's first of two readings, so. Okay. All those in favor to approve policy IHBG, homeschooling on the first of two readings, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Okay, item 12.
Madam Chair, I would move to approve to take policy EJ/E, sex designated facilities off of the table.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on taking that off the table? So all those in favor to approve to take policy EJE, sex designated facilities off the table, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Okay, 13.
I'll make a motion to approve policy EJ/E, sex designated facilities on the first of two readings.
Thank you, May. I would entertain a second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay, discussion or comments on this?
I think I brought it up, if you didn't wanna sleep in a traveling team, you wanted a separate room, did we have any discussion about that?
Yeah, I sent that from Scott's response to the entire board, I believe.
I must admit, I apologize.
So he said that that's not the intent of that intent is of a transgender student who would make that request, but not anybody can make that request like, hey, I wanna have my own room, I wanna have a king size bed, those kinds of things. He said, but it is very gray again, but that's not the intent of it.
And I think the other thing is, it has to be reasonable, just cause I read it over again, that's all I was concerned about.
Right.
Okay, any further discussion on policy EJE? Alright, so all those in favor to approve policy EJE, sex designated facilities on the first of two readings, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Okay, and with our amended agenda, the next item would be to go into executive session
I think it's to be specific, discuss
to
personnel.
discuss
Personnel.
personnel.
Madam Chair, I'll move to take us to executive session over superintendent contract addendum.
16.
Or 6:58?
I need a second, please.
I'll second.
Let me give that to Doug.
Okay.
A second.
That's fine. I know my standing.
I don't need my name, it's that much.
Alright, all those in favor of adjourning to executive session, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, no? Okay. Now we're at 6:58.
Okay, well, Madam Chair, I move that we come out of executive session.
I second it.
Okay.
7:23.
All those in favor to exit executive session, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Okay. All right, so item 14. I would entertain a motion to approve the superintendent's addendum.
I would move to approve superintendent contract addendum for salary and benefits.
Thank you,
I'll second that.
thank you. All right, discussion, comments.
Madam Chair, I'll move to we modify number 14, approve superintendent contract addendum for salary and benefits and change it to say 2% to the base, adding a 2% raise to the base and 5 flex days. Striking the 10 flex days that it currently says and 3 additional vacation days.
Striking the 3 additional vacation days as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd second that.
What did you say for the 5 flex days?
Five.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
To be used in the summertime?
Yes, sorry, I should have said that to be used during June and July. So the correct motion would be, I move to approve the superintendent's contract addendum for salary and benefits with a 2% raise to the base and 5 flex days to be used during June and July. Striking the three additional vacation days.
But we have a motion on the floor, so we have
Right,
to,
so he's making a motion to amend the motion.
to amend the motion.
And I seconded it.
And first off, for those here and those watching, if they're still watching, I wanna make sure that everybody's perfectly clear. There is nothing wrong with Mr. Weigel's performance. We're very pleased with your performance. A lot of it has to do with how I handled things, the procedural stuff, as well as just financial stuff. So I just wanna make sure that everybody's aware of Mr. Weigel. We do appreciate you and we appreciate the job that you do every day for us.
We all,
Okay.
I mean, it-
Agreed.
Thanks.
Okay, so the amended motion, or the motion to amend the motion that's on the floor right now is to, the base, let's see, 2% raise and 5 flex days to be used in June and July. Correct?
correct.
Heather, you got it? Yep. Okay, perfect. All right, so all those in favor of the amended motion? Okay, everybody got that? This is the amended motion.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
A motion.
A motion, it is a motion. Sounds like a song, honestly, okay. So all those in favor of the amended motion, this is not approve or disapprove, this is just to amend the motion. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed,
Nay.
nay. Okay, so who was yay? Okay, so 3 and 3 nay. Okay, so the amendment fails. Cause a tie is a fail. Alright, so now then we're back to the original motion.
Well, because you have an absent, right?
Mhm.
So wouldn't that be a no?
Mm-mm.
Can't be no.
It would,
No,
But an accent, a no.
No,
no, it doesn't.
it doesn't, John. It's just absent.
we had this before. Alright.
So you have the original motion still on the floor.
And it's been seconded.
Yes, it's
Yes.
been seconded, I'm just thinking about this, did we? Alright, so we have the original motion for the 2% raise, 3 additional vacation days and 10 flex remote days during June and or July. That is the motion. Any further comment or discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the original motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. No, mine's not aye, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
let's start over again. So all those in favor of the original motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and those opposed?
Aye.
Okay, so 3-3, motion fails.
Can I say something? We need to get this on the agenda and get this solved next time, whatever we do. And Chase better get here, we gotta do something about a board member that doesn't show up half the time, or more than half the time.
There's nothing we can.
I know, but at some point, he has to do his job, and he's not doing it. I'm missing meetings that I get paid to be at, to be here tonight.
I use most of my vacation
And I
to come
understand
here.
that, but I think we need to bring this back up for John's sake and for the school district's sake.
It will, yes, absolutely.
And we've postponed this too long, I want it solved.
Okay, so our next,
And I do have to go to a paid meeting.
okay,
Thanks, Doug.
so our next work session, are we gonna do them on different meetings?
Are we looking at anything that we need to discuss in the next work session, or do we know yet? That would be the only thing, if there's something that we need to really dive into, maybe we need to do it on a different day, otherwise I'm okay doing a dual same day situation.
We can always amend this if we need to, so let's just say August 18th, we'll do them both. Workshop at 5 p.m., school board meeting at 6.
I'm gonna throw out there that Glendale School Barbecue is at 6 o'clock that day.
On the
Yes.
18th. Okay. All right, with that, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Madam Chair, I move to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
You said 5 o'clock, right?
For the work session, yes. Okay. All those in favor of adjournment, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? 7:31.